Hi. Um, to write as a Danish writer, it can be challenging when it comes to the challenges in writing in a different language. And Danish, that is my mother tongue, is a language of the Germanic variant. So writing in English has different rules in grammar. For example, a Danish word order is very different from the English word order. So there is certain things that works in English that does not work in Danish. And those things are something that you need to keep in mind. And that's why that when I first started, as much as it for some reason writing in English is what managed for me to completely finish my first manuscript that I tried many times in Danish, but I always failed at, opens up a different set of challenges. And those challenges include the simple fact that when I think on how to say something in Danish and put it down, and even if I think in English how to put it down, that's not necessarily correct grammar. So that's why I definitely needed to have somebody to take an extra look at it, for whether they were beta readers, whether they were editors, or whether they were proofreaders. I definitely needed someone to look over it. And this is why I originally had a story where some editors said no to it, that it would be too much work, while eventually I did get an editor, but that managed to be a complete rework that brought it down from 107,000 words to 80,000 words. Which, when I went back to it and modified it and changed certain things, and 3 years later and improved on things, it turned it back up to 90 with a new editor. But there was a big learning curve for me for how to understand what works and what doesn't work, because there are certain things that does not work, and there are certain things that does work. There are certain things that are different, like the apostrophe in English does not exist in Danish. In Danish, if you're saying like Peters, where you put Peter apostrophe S, in Danish it would just have Peters with no apostrophe. So those are one example of something, and there are tons of other things. Like how Yoda talk, for example, is how the word order in Danish actually works. So that again would be something that would need to be changed in order to fit for that new setup. And that's why it took me some extra time to finish it and extra work to finish my first story. And the process of writing the first book, as much as it taught me these things, it taught me so many other things in writing in general that you could do and you couldn't do. But I'm still, to this day, still having certain things where I think, oh, well, that's not how you do it in English. So that is the challenge, and I'm sure anyone who has writing in English as a second language will have these as a challenge. Those are definitely the challenge I had. And this thing, thank you for listening. Thank you.